Yo, what's up, everybody? You've tuned in to Clark Radio, a division of Clark TV. You're here with me in the studio today, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2009. What an eventful show I have for you guys planned out today. On the line, I have one of the most influential artists in the Calgary hip-hop scene, Franco BZ. Franco, how you doing?
Yo, what up, 403, Frank BZ in the house, flip side revolution in a war in effect. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you. Now, I hear you saying NOR. What does that stand for? And, what's coming along with that?
Well, the NOR is sort of a concept it's nothing really new, except, I just took the W off it. It's the New Order Resistance. Basically, what I'm going to be outlining in my album for my upcoming few albums coming up. It's going to be Volume 1 to Volume 2 to Volume Infinity. And basically, I'm going to be bringing a more revolutionary, political, spiritual, enlightening, intellectual twist to the 403 Calgary hip-hop scene, which hasn't really been seen before.
Now, I know there's tons and tons and tons of hip-hop artists in the Calgary music scene right now. What, for some of the younger guys, some of the guys just getting into it, what words of advice do you got for them?
Well, my words of advice, I've been doing this for about 10 years, been playing shows. I'm 26 years old. I do everything from hip-hop, rock, R&B. I'm a performer, singer, songwriter, freestyler. Basically, my advice would be is, do what you do what you love, do your passion, and don't chase the paper. Let the paper chase you, homie.
Yeah. Now, you say you do a whole lot more than just hip hop. What else? Go in depth on what else you've done and what else you do.
Well, in depth, right now, I'm on my 8th album. And my past albums have consisted of all sorts of different styles. I started out doing hip-hop and R&B with the Lost Ones crew, LOC, back in 2001. We did a bunch of shows. We got to play at the Battle of the Bands of Extreme Fest, and that was 2001. That got me started. That got me hooked. And ever since, like I said, it's been about 10 years, about 9 years, actually. But I've always been doing this for my soul. So from those 2 albums with the Lost Ones crew, 2001, 2002, we sort of had, a different outlook on things. I wanted to take it a little further. So I came out with my first solo underground album, which was self-titled Franco B Underground, and that was in 2003. Now, I linked up in 2004, 2005 with DJ Doobie, and we mixed up Street Flows Volume 1 and Volume 2. And DJ Doobie, a.k.a. Nemanja Injic, he's currently in Europe, so we'll be touching down with him for the spring of 2010.
Yeah. Now, going on back to NOR, what have you got for the music scene going along with that? What other projects do you have on the line coming up?
Well, the thing is, I ain't gonna say that I'm starting a new trend or I'm creating a style, because really I've just been inspired by such artists that I'm sure you've heard of, as such as Immortal Technique or Paris or Cannabis or Lost Children of Babylon, Jedi Mind Tricks, who have been on this tip spitting some philosophy and some real content hip hop. I've heard it said, real talk hip hop, and I like to use that term too, is like from that, lower mind state into a higher mind state, kind of a shifting of perspectives through music.
Yeah. Now going along with NOR and the whole kind of fuck the government kind of thing. What are your views on everything that's going on in the U.S. economy right now, and the U.S. government? What are your views on what's going on there?
Well, the thing that's funny about any economy is bubbles are bursted on any market, especially in Wall Street, on purpose. And if anybody thinks that any of this sort of recession is by accident, well, I would just like to get them to take a good look at the Federal Reserve System, how it works, Wall Street, and do a little bit of investigating, because that's probably the biggest problem, Clark, is a lot of people have just believed what they're told for so long instead of investigating, and they take in so-called professional opinions instead of basing their opinions upon research and facts.
Now, going along with all this, I've had a chance to investigate myself, and I've become quite accustomed to this site, Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. And everything
what up, Alex Jones?
And everything that Alex Jones has been saying and all that, it at the same time you don't want to believe it, but in another perspective, everything comes clearer. And what are your views on, because he's saying that the Federal Reserve is basically the puppet master and Obama's basically just the puppet. Like, do you go along with some of this stuff? Do you believe some of this stuff?
Well, the thing is, I take everything with a grain of salt, and it doesn't matter who it is, whether it was, Barack Obama or Alex Jones or even me telling you something. Never believe anything anybody tells you. If something sparks an interest in your mind, be a man and take some time, and by all means investigate, because otherwise you're just left at the whims of, what if, or I'm just going to believe this guy because he wrote it. Now, Alex Jones, I know he is a very reliable source of information because I've done background checks on his information. And this is a lot of things people don't do. So, yeah, much respect to Alex Jones and what he does. It's a miracle we even have an Alex Jones in this world. And when going back to the question of, a lot of people, like, this is hard to swallow for them. Like, I've heard it said, the individual is faced with such a monstrous conspiracy that they basically turn away or are sickened by it and just try to have some sort of amnesia and forget that shit's going on. And this is how a lot of government corruption is allowed to run rampant, is it's just given a blind eye. And they've got every resources to get away with a lot of different things because they're pulling all the strings, in the legal system, in the media, and a lot of things. And as far as Barack Obama goes, it's great. We have a black president, after all those years of segregation in America and racism. Sure, it's great. But if you study the guy's background, if you study who this guy is, he's got the same administration as George Bush did, and he's actually related to the bloodline, same bloodline. All of these guys are related, and that's what it all comes down to, is almost 98% of the presidents of the United States are connected through blood and DNA. They're all relatives, and they're related to Prince Charles. It goes to the Queen of England, and even further back to Babylon, Mesopotamia, and Egypt.
Now, I'm going to stop you there, Franco, and we're actually going to go and take a quick little break right now. But everybody stay tuned because we got a whole lot more important shit to get through. So stay tuned right here on Clark Radio.